warm you up with the easy one. Ultimately, why did you make the decision to come back versus going pro?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I just believe. I believe in Florida State. I believe in what Coach Norvell is doing. I believe in a lot of the coaches he brought in, a lot of the players he brought in, and I believe in the guys that we have returning. And so, I think we have the opportunity to do something really special, and I didn't want to leave. Having the season we had last year, it felt unfair to the fans because, they've given me so much. And so I just want to, try to give them something in return.
Stay here for Brendan.
Going a little further into that, what looks like a successful season for you personally? What are things that you want to accomplish? And then as a team, you have goals, things that you look at as that you would like to achieve from a team perspective as well?
Personally, I think I had a pretty successful season last year, if we just look at it. But my success isn't a reflection of the team's success. That's what I want ultimately. I want my success to be a reflection of the team's success because, I came back to be playing right now. I came back so that next year at this time, we're still playing. And so that's the ultimate goal is that, when mid-January rolls around, we're still being talked about. We're still playing.
All right, we'll go second row to Liam.
Duce, you talked a lot last year just about how much this place in particular means to you and your family. Was that something that also kind of influenced your decision, another opportunity to get another year at a place so meaningful for you guys?
Absolutely. Florida State changed my life. Last year was one of the best years of my life. And the people of Tallahassee, just, the people I've met, the people who have helped me, both in the facility and out of the facility. Like I've met so many incredible people here. And so like I said, I just want to make those people happy. I want to make those people proud. I want to give those people something to cheer about because they have done so much for me. They have changed my life in such an incredible way. I just want to bring joy to those people as well.
We'll go over to Ira on your right.
We see you active on social media when other guys maybe announce that they're coming back or things like that. Like, what's this been like for you? You made your decision, and then maybe either helping other guys or not getting involved and just watching what other guys are doing. Kind of what's this last couple of weeks been like for you?
Yeah, it's been very rewarding. Like it's been really cool to see guys want to come to Florida State and really, really talented players, really good players, players that I've been able to help recruit. It's been a lot of fun because I've seen all the great things Florida State has to offer. And so being able to tell those guys and show those guys, the things that I've seen, the things that I've been through, that really sold me on Florida State and then have continued to sell me on Florida State. It's been really, really a fun process to be a part of.
We'll go back to the left with Peter.
Duce, you say you believe with some of the players that we bring in, specifically with Ashton Daniels. Have you spoke to him, or what is something that you're looking forward to working with him?
Yeah, it's funny. I've actually known Ashton for a while, since back when he was at Stanford, and he's always been an incredible person. I didn't really talk with him about much on the field, at least until we were recruiting him. But I've always known he's just a person. He's someone who I get along with. He's someone who's easy to talk to, and then just being able to talk with him, actually about stuff on the field and ball. He seems really knowledgeable. He seems like he's a really good leader, and I'm really excited to have him be a part of the team.
All right, we'll come back to Chris.
Last year when you came in with Tommy, you two got to work together immediately. Obviously, Ashton's coming in at a different point than you came in. How much do you intend to work with him and just try to get him on board and get him comfortable with what's expected of him here?
Yeah, I think that's uberly important to get on the field with them, to throw with them, to get our timing right, because our offense is really so predicated on timing between quarterback and receiver. And so, I think that's really important, and he's a worker too. So I'm really excited be able to throw with him, be able to just get on the field with him and work with him.
Brendan?
And then some of the other offensive pieces, there's new offensive linemen, some running backs added. I guess what kind of research have you done on the guys who were going to be part of the offense this year? Thoughts on what the offense can be with the guys who've returned and the additions?
Yeah, I think we've added some really talented linemen, like you said. We've got a couple transfers, but we also have some really talented freshmen who I think could really help us. And so I'm really excited to honestly just be able to get back on the field. I've been able to have a couple workouts with them, but just see them be able to start to mesh as a unit, and be able to see the offense start to mesh as a whole. I think we're going to be doing a lot of stuff together, both on and off the field. And so, I think it'll be really good for us to kind of find that cohesion early, because we have some really talented guys. And then in the running back room, we added a couple pieces, especially, I've had the chance to talk to Trey a lot, and he seems like a really good, just a good person. And obviously the work he's done on the field speaks for itself. And so, I'm really excited to have him be a part of the team as well. We added a couple tight ends. We got O as a transfer, and then we've got a couple freshmen coming in. So they'll be really nice to have. We've got a lot of talented receivers coming in too. A lot of freshman guys who I think could really help us if we're able to just bring them along and throughout winter and spring and summer. So we'll have all the talent in the world, and I think it's just going to be about getting on the same page, finding that cohesion, and being able to work together.
Go to Liam.
Almost following up on that, when you talked about some of the guys in the receiver room, you got guys back like Mekhi, Javen, and yourself. And when you have an offense that you said relies on timing so much, that continuity, how helpful is it? And then when you're bringing in the new guys like the freshmen to kind of teach them, like, hey, we've done this for a couple of years. This is what you got to do.
Yeah, having so many guys back who have played, either both in practice or have, seen time in game, like having that is invaluable. We've got guys like Tayshawn, guys like Magic, who I think are going to be, really key pieces of the offense this year as they, grow into their roles. And just having, that core group of guys like me, Mekhi, and Javen who have played last year too. It's going to be a lot easier to teach those freshmen than if we just had a couple guys returning. It's going to, because we know how it's done. We know how Coach Gus's offense is run. We know what that timing looks like, and so they're not just going to be hearing it from one voice. They're going to be hearing it from multiple guys and multiple, really talented guys who I believe are going to, play a big role in the offense this year.
We'll go back to Ira. We'll go to your right.
You're not the coach; it won't be your decision. But practicing with Kevin Sperry last year, like, how far did he come during his freshman year, and do you think he's a guy that can, compete to get on the field this season? Yeah,
I think Kevin Sperry is an absolute baller. He's a guy who can make every throw. He's super athletic, and he's really just all about ball. And I got to know him pretty well last year. And so, I'm excited to see what he's going to do this year because I think he has all the potential in the world.
We'll go to Bob on the front row.
Duce, curious, what was the feedback from the NFL Draft Advisory Committee for you? What areas of improvement did they suggest? And we know Mike Norvell and Coach Harris coached the receivers pretty hard. I'm sure they have a development plan, a plan of improvement for you. What's kind of been the message so far to you?
I think there's a lot of areas I have to clean up in my game, especially if I want to get to where I want to go. But I think two of my biggest things are just going to be, getting in and out of every route, showing that I'm able to run every route in the books. And then also, without the ball in my hands, what am I doing? Because that's just as important as when I do have the ball in my hands. And so, I'm really excited to be able to work on that stuff this offseason, and I'm going to make sure it shows up next year.
All right, we'll go back to Ira.
when you look back at last season, you guys started so well and then kind of went through that rough patch and kind of had a hard time getting out of it. Like, as a leader of this team, like, what do you think you guys can learn from what happened last fall and to try to, finish your college career, on a strong note?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is kind of just we can't shoot ourselves in the foot this year. I think that was our biggest problem last year because we had so much talent. The team was comprised of, some really, really incredible players, and the coaches put us in some really good positions to be able to make plays. But it's just, it's all about execution. It's all about, doing the little things right and making sure that we're not the ones hurting ourselves. And so I know that's going to be a huge emphasis this offseason, and we're going to make sure it shows up next season.
Come back over here to the left for Brendan.
I ask this, understand that every situation is different. When there are guys who were helpful last season and starters, impact players, and they transfer out, or guys who consider transferring out and stay, like, do you have conversations with them during that process when they do ultimately leave? Is that frustrating? I guess just, in this era, there's guys who come and go. What's that process like for you? How do you internalize it?
Yeah, I mean, that's the state of college football right now. I will never fault a guy for looking for a new opportunity or looking for a better opportunity because, I mean, I was a product of the transfer portal, right? Like, and it worked out for me. Coming to Florida State was the best decision I could have ever made. So I will never, ever, be frustrated or mad at a guy for leaving or looking at potential opportunities because they have to do what's best for them too. And so, yeah, I mean, obviously there's guys who it makes you sad to see them go because, their talent's through the roof. And I would love to be able to have another year with them. But, I'm always happy for guys who are able to find, a better fit or a better home.
Go back over to Ira.
You, just having seen you at some events around campus and sporting events and things like that, the fans gravitate towards you. You're easy to see at your size. Have you enjoyed that? Like, what's that like? Because I don't know if you had that at Southern Cal in a city like LA.
Yeah, I think USC, there's just so much going on. And there's so many people who are technically higher up the totem pole than college football. And so being here, seeing how much, the people just care about Florida State it's pretty cool. And I think I've told this story before, but like when I first showed up, right, I'm fresh out of Los Angeles, and I go to a softball game and a baseball game, and they're playing at the same exact time, and both games are packed out. It's like sold out. You would hear a roar from one crowd, and then you would hear a roar from another crowd, right? And so just seeing how much the people care in Tallahassee, like they just love the University of Florida State, whether you play football, baseball, basketball, soccer, like whatever sport it may be, like they just love sports, and they're really passionate about us, the players. And so, I'm super grateful for the fans here, and I really appreciate it every time a fan does come up because you never know, like, who's watching. You never know how you may have impacted their life, or maybe I can put a smile on their face every Saturday whenever I play, right? Like, that makes me happy, and that means a lot to me. And so, yeah, whenever a fan does come up and ask to take a picture or tell me great game, like, it really means a lot.
Anything else for Duce? All right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate y'all.